everybody, and welcome back to Honey, We're Home. I can't take anything seriously.
I'm in a good mood today.
I know, me too. It's Friday.
Okay. It's Friday, but it's like a good Friday.
Yes. Ooh.
I'm like out of a funk.
I think it might quite literally be a Good Friday.
Oh, is it good? Shut up.
Catholic.
It is Good Friday.
I think it is because Mike got ashes before Valentine's Day dinner.
I was going to do ashes on Wednesday. Oh, you did say that.
He didn't tell me.
I just can't.
He shows up with ashes. I go, I'm sorry. Am I the spawn of Satan?
So many people did that. And like, I actually used to do that in Charlotte, but it's like when I could go in the middle of the day, like when I could leave work and go to the church in the middle of the day to do it. Like, I'm sorry. My priorities are like out of whack. Shoot me if you want to. But like, I'm not going at 7 p.m. on Valentine's Day to get ashes.
Well, he went on the way to our dinner. He goes, yeah, I had some quick time, so I swung by church and got ashes. I'm like, I would have liked to fucking get ashes. What?
Yeah. You could have gone together. It could have been romantic.
Well, because I was in the office and he was at home, so we like had to meet at dinner. But still, I'm like, he didn't even tell me it was happening. I was just like, I feel like you went behind my back. You and Jesus were having an affair behind
He like wanted a leg up on you.
He did. He did. He likes to try to be like... He literally was
like 1 for Mike, 0 for Nikki.
He does that. He likes to try to be like the more innocent one, which he definitely is by far. But yeah, he likes to just try to like be more holy without me.
I love that.
Okay, so how are you feeling? Post-Valentine's Day.
Yeah, and I think I have a problem. First of all, I'm feeling good right now. I just got my lips done. So,
oh, wait, I completely forgot you did this.
So the numbness is like still wearing off. When I was leaving my appointment, everything inside my mouth was numb, and I was like, I sure hope this wears off in a few hours.
Wait, first of all, whoever did them...
Do you think they look good?
...deserves a fucking award because they look not only amazing and perfect, like I would keep them like this forever, you have no bruising and swelling.
None. She literally was like, you will not swell. She was like, your swelling will be done in like 20 minutes.
Is that on the injector's skill or is that you? Because I've had skill. My injector's amazing.
Yeah.
But I bruise and swell like a big balloon.
I think it's a mix of both. But for me, like, I can tell based on the injector because I've had it before where I've swelled really badly, bled really badly. I bruise really badly already, like as a redhead. Like, I just... genetically in my DNA bruise easier, and so I do think if you're like more careful as an injector, like you can avoid it.
Like
she like I'm not looking at myself, I'm looking at her. Like she did a good job.
When's the last time before this you got them?
Like a year and some change ago, a year and a half ago.
Mine's been forever. Like
yeah. But she did like dissolve first, and that for all my girls out there who have ever thought about it or need to. Okay, I'm a pass out girly. Like I get vasovagal, I black out, I pass out. I tell people this like so they can prepare. However, I've heard that getting dissolved is like terrible, terrible pain. And the first time I ever got my lips done in the city, the girl next to me was getting hers dissolved, and she was screaming in pain.
I've heard it's so bad.
It was not as bad as people say.
Really?
Like, I do not have a high pain tolerance, and I pass out. So I was very scared. And maybe just because I hyped it up in my head to be so much worse than it was.
Well, okay. Do they numb you when you get it dissolved?
Big time. They do numb you. And, like, ask them to put, like, lidocaine in the dissolved mixture that they also put into your lips. So then, like,
why did you get it dissolved? You just didn't like
it migrated. Like, what I had already migrated, and it was, like, up above my lip weirdly, which is, like, there aren't a lot of reasons you would get it dissolved.
Yeah.
But, like, that's one of them.
Yeah.
And once it migrates, like, it does change the shape of your face.
When did you get them dissolved? Because I've seen you between dissolve and more fill.
I got them dissolved 3 weeks ago.
See, whoever did them this time did a really good job because they look so natural. Like I now that you're saying it, yes, plumper and you're very swollen. Like they're gonna go down. I mean, you don't look swollen.
No, but yes,
anybody is right after. But I wouldn't have noticed. Like they still look so natural. Like I might have to. They look so good.
No, she did a really good job.
I'm so jealous.
But she's the one that was like, you need to get it dissolved first because it migrated, and when you keep filling like on top of migrated filler, that's when you start to get like the weird look.
Yeah.
it's not because it's too much filler. It's just because some of it has moved. So for any of my girls that feel like you might need to get some dissolved, but you're scared, I was okay. Yeah, I was okay.
My one friend from home did too, and she's a wimp with pain, and so if she can, anybody can.
Yeah, that is true.
I just like the world of lip filler. It's such you have to do it right, and when you do, you will realize everyone in your life has lip filler. Everybody.
I mean, it's nothing to be embarrassed about. I literally posted on my story. I was like, in an hour, my top lip will be bigger.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
It's good to be transparent about it. And anybody who judges anybody for getting lip filler can kindly see themselves out of my life.
No, I agree. I just think it's a stupid thing to be upset about. Because it's your body. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. And, like, you don't have to be mad at somebody else for doing it.
And no one's, like, ugly without it. We're not saying. But I'm not, like, sitting here being a lip filler ambassador. But I will say, for myself, it made such a world of difference. Like, I just like my face. It, like, slimmed out my face. And but once again, it's probably worn off by now. Okay, cool. Why'd you write down that you cry every year after Valentine's Day?
Something is wrong with me. Like, you know those people that cry on their birthday every year?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not one of those people. That rule applies to me for Valentine's Day, I think. Like, I don't know what's wrong with me. Like, I just...
In a happy way?
No.
Oh, like you're sad?
Like, I'm
Why
just
were
like...
you sad?
I think that my expectations just always outlive
John's roses
the reality.
were beautiful.
Yes. And I don't want to crap on his roses. So I'm prefacing this by saying something just takes over me and I get sad. But, like, some years he knocks it out of the park. And other years, it's just like, am I an afterthought to you? Like...
Was that this year?
Yes, like
afterthought energy.
Yes, like
if it makes you feel better, we were afterthought energy. We had to go to dinner at 6 sharp because Mike booked it at the last second. He said it was the last reservation in all of the tri-state area left. And I was like, well, then don't wait till a week before to book our Valentine's Day.
And I don't know why I get so like sensitive about it, because I know that at first I was like, it's because I know he's capable of doing something more thoughtful, but like because he has before. But like I get it. Like I didn't have the energy to plan anything. Like we've both been like stressed, busy, also just like hella seasonal depression. I mean, it's not that I expected anything more. I don't know. Something just takes over me. So like he was late, first of all. He like got home late. And on any other day, why would that matter? But it's just like when he said he was going to be home at 6:15 on Valentine's Day and then got home at 7:15, I was like pissed.
1 hour.
I was pissed. Like I know it was like a goal to be home by 6:15. Like I'm not dumb.
Did you guys do it at home?
No, we had a reservation for 8:30, so it wasn't like
normal people time.
But like we had a reservation at our neighborhood local spot. I don't have a problem with that.
House?
Yes, I didn't have a problem with that. I love that place. But he was late, and I was like, this is a day when you should be on time. Yeah. And then when he showed up, he had 48 roses. Great. But I don't love roses, so like I would have rathered like a cute arrangement. No, here was my thing though, is that he got them at Whole Foods on the way home and didn't wait to have them wrapped. Like I was like, don't hand me roses in the grocery store bag.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. They looked beautiful in the vase.
They were, and he put them in a vase. And if you're gonna do that, get home early and then put them in the vase.
Right.
I don't know, something about it. I really was like,
to him then and there, or did
yes,
you just
because I.
Okay.
No, I'm
good girl.
No, Nikki, it was too much.
They forget each year. You've got.
They do, and I said the flowers are important to me. It's just how you do it. It could have been 2 flowers. I don't care. It's just about make it romantic.
Right.
Make it intentional. Like, where is the card? There's no card. Why didn't you like get them wrapped?
There was no card?
There was no card.
At all?
He didn't know. And he like got me like little like a cute like pajamas and like whatever. Like, I know he thought about Valentine's Day. Mm-hmm. It's just that like I did tell him because I involuntarily started crying. And he was like, again? Like, are you serious? And I'm like, I'm sorry.
Get men like John and Mike. Well, here's the thing. I don't think you're being, you're not having out of the box expectations. Like,
no.
And I think like, it's like things like this, he'll know for next year and next time or
he made a note. Like, he does this sometimes when he's like just tired of the same problem happening over and over again. He like makes a note in his phone.
Stop.
It says Caroline's. I don't know if I'm controlling or if this is cute, but it says Caroline's do's and don'ts for Valentine's Day.
No, he doesn't. That's amazing. See, that's adorable. That shows that he loves you. Most guys, on the flip side, like, ladies, if you're out there and listening and similar things have happened and they haven't really met your expectations with thoughtfulness on holidays and Valentine's Day, some guys would just be like, bro, shut up, it doesn't matter, like, blah blah, and that's bad. Like, that is where it's like, but John like wants you to be happy, cares, wants, so he's going in his phone and saying Caroline's do's and don'ts. And to be fair, we're not the easiest.
We are not the easiest. But I told him, I said, I don't need like big things. I don't want like a lot of money spent. Like, I'm happy to eat at home. I just want to know that you took the extra step for like a special day. Like, you got flowers, but like you made sure you got them wrapped in the nice paper.
Yes.
Or like you got a card to go with it. Or like you could have picked up Twizzlers, like my favorite candy, or like whatever it was, and like made it that extra step. Or like,
well, and it's just tough because you see, especially leading up to Valentine's Day, on the freaking day, all these grand gestures that like real men in the real, like, I know we always say like don't compare to movies, don't compare to shows, whatever, obviously fuckingly, but you see real people posting on social media about their real significant others doing really cute shit. Yeah. So then you're like, this is real life, but when in reality social media is fake, they might be having huge issues behind your back, or behind the scenes. But yeah, so I mean, it is just tough. That is one thing that like, and that might be a love language thing too, that's something Mike and I have really realized. Like, I kind of want that romance, those words of affirmation, those really heartfelt things, that physical touch a lot. And he's more acts of service in that, like, he would go shovel off snow off the car for me before I get in it, like things like that. Like, so I don't know, that it's just the men not realizing. I think throughout a long-term relationship, you do have to remind them from time to time, like, hey, I want a little bit of the romance and butterflies and the grand gestures, and I want like just romance, like chivalry.
That was exactly what it was, because he was like frustrated that I was upset because he had actually thought about Valentine's Day. He like woke up and made me this like yogurt parfait with all these like strawberries cut. Cute. He like laid the strawberries and blueberries in the shape of a heart, like in the yogurt.
Caroline.
I know, I get it. I just was like, but we've been together for almost 9 years. So I think I just got overwhelmed because I was like, how many times do I have to tell you that when you get the flowers wrapped, that means something to me? It's such a little thing. Like, I don't need you to like spend 18 hours and $18,000 wooing me.
Yeah.
I have been super clear with you.
I just want my fucking flowers.
I just want a card and the flowers wrapped.
Well, we had a flower fiasco. I posted on the Honey We're Home Instagram that I posted a quick snapshot of them. And I love my flowers. Mike, if you're listening, I love my roses. He got into shape this year, and he was like, I'm not doing grocery store flowers. Because one year I like yelled at him for doing like shitty grocery store flowers on Valentine's Day. Because again, as we talked about in the last episode, I get flowers frequently. So he was like, I'm going to get a nice arrangement. Like, I'm going to spend more than I typically would. And these flowers came in. I don't want to like shit on the company, but whatever.
Sometimes the company does a bad job.
And he was picturing them arriving in the vase perfectly, like an actual arrangement. They came in a box, packaged up with the vase on the side, and you put them in the vase. Oh. And I was like, they're lovely. And he was like, no, they're fucking not. He was like,
at least he knew.
He goes, and look at the photo, and this is what we got. They were like, it was nothing like
at least he knew. That's not his fault, because like he chose something and he's like dissatisfied with like what he got.
He was like angry. He was the one year I do a nice arrangement, it comes like this.
Yeah, I will say, like, in guys' defenses with the like florist thing, is like sometimes it is really underwhelming and way too expensive for what you're getting.
I said, well, and you know, I learned my lesson. I was like, I never want you spending a lot on flowers again if they're gonna come like this.
That is true.
Go to King's across the street, the grocery store, and get grocery store flowers and put them in a nice vase.
Yeah, it's the presentation. Yeah. I think that's what we're both getting at, is that
it's the presentation.
And we've had this conversation before where it's like guys are definitely willing to be thoughtful and do something nice. It's just that the girl brain takes it this step further with like execution.
The presentation.
We've had this conversation before where we're like, girls will go through anything. We will re-rig our plan 1,000 times to make sure it gets executed the way that we planned it, whereas guys will just go with what's convenient. Like if they've acquired the goods but they don't have time for the execution, to them it's the same thing.
Yeah.
And it's not. And so on Valentine's Day, it's less about how much money you're spending and how much time you're spending doing it, and just like putting in the effort for like the execution part. So like the flowers now come in a vase, or the flowers like come wrapped, like whatever it is. It's like the small stuff that says like this is a little more special. It's romantic.
Exactly. Speaking of romance,
I
bawled my eyes out on Valentine's Day because I made Mike watch The Notebook for the first time. Highly recommend, because sometimes you do have to remind them that like men are romantic. So I said, be like Noah. He had never seen the movie, and he enjoyed it. It was a great movie. We've never like, I don't know why we've never watched The Notebook. Whatever, I've seen it obviously like 50 times, but it was interesting because I was like bawling throughout it. It was really getting to me.
It gets to me every time.
Be like that. I want you to be a little psychotic. I want you to build a house like that and wait for me 20 years until I come back to you. Yeah. But like also justice for Lon. You know?
Yeah, Lon was a nice guy. You know, that was filmed in my neighborhood that I grew up in. In the old village.
I was wondering that actually.
Yes.
I want to go there.
A lot of it was.
I need to go.
But yeah, I think it is our conversation. We sat down for dinner and John was like, that was unpleasant, but like, he was like, but I do need a reminder to like be romantic, to have like romance every now and then. And the next day I got 2 cards, one that was nice and one that was an apology for not getting a card the day before.
See, that's adorable.
And I got all my favorite candy.
We want to hear from you guys because I want to hear if your significant other, your husband, your partner, whatever, is like just genuinely like takes the initiative to be super romantic. Write into us and tell us, and like tell us, was he always just like that, or did you have to train? And give us the tips.
I actually told my sister today, and we can move on, but like I was on the phone with my sister and she was like, I just like don't want to deal with like training a guy. And fair, so fair. I get it. I think that as the generations go on and like social media is bigger, like I do think that women know more of what they're worth. Like there's more of an expectation on men to just like come already prepared to be mature and nice. And that also goes into how we plan on raising boys and like whatever new rules. But I said to her, okay, but like nobody's perfect. So like sometimes there will be years where it's perfect and sometimes there will be years where it flies under the radar. And like you just can't expect anybody to be perfect all the time.
You are never going to find someone who checks every single box you're looking for. But didn't we say this on the last episode, or did we talk about this before? Whatever.
Yeah.
You're going to find somebody who checks like 80%, and then you've got to train the other 20%.
Yes, that's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
And or they have like the foundation too. And I think part of it's just that like, we're not all completely grown up yet. Right.
And I think it's tough for us because we met our husbands when they were merely boys.
Yeah, John was 19. He was a boy. So I'm like, maybe I'm more cool with it because like, how can you expect a 19-year-old to be like perfect? But like, he is what I shaped him.
But I think the girlies who are out there meeting older men, they probably have to do a little less shaping and training because these men as well have been trained by their former women.
The rules are definitely different because if you are dating somebody who has already been in a very serious long-term relationship or has been married, do not put up with any of that because I can guarantee you someone has already tried to communicate their needs and wants to them in a way that's like programmed for like, you know, romance or whatever it is. And they've just decided not to listen. Like they've decided that that's not important to them and that they're honestly, I'm sure that it always comes down to like, that's part of the reason it didn't work out. Like if they're still acting in that like boyish, immature way, it's like they decided that wasn't a priority to them and that they would find a girl who didn't care as much. And like that's never true.
A chill girl.
Yeah, like they're like grass is greener on the other side,
No.
but it's not. So it's like just don't mess with that.
Any girls out there listening, just like do all of the girls a favor and don't try to be the cool girl. Don't try to be the chill girl. It's pick me energy.
You're not doing any of us a favor.
No, you're actually
really
doing a disservice to women around the world.
Yeah.
So just don't.
Okay, so Nikki, you have a really big thing to share with us.
I
today.
do have a big life update, and you guys, we talked about this before the episode. You guys are the first to hear this, other than like close friends and family. So just know that you listeners are very exclusive. It's an exclusive group of you who I just feel more comfortable telling this group intimate details about my life before the rest of the internet. So the rest of the internet's going to find out in a couple days. Tomorrow. Yeah, after this episode comes out. But I have decided to quit my full-time job. I've been doing my 2 weeks notice. For those of you who don't know, I work full-time at Betches Media. I love them to death. I always will. I've been there for nearly 5 years. Let's just say 5 years because it's been my longest job I've ever had. It's been my favorite job. It's been my dream job, dream company, the people. I'm going to like be waiting outside the office for my coworkers to get out because I love them. And I'm still going to see all of them, obviously. Still might freelance. You still might see me on those channels and stuff, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, basically, I've made this decision. It's been the hardest decision. Can I even talk? Decision that I've made in a while because I've never not had a 9 to 5. Yeah. I've worked for 10 years. I'm 31. 10 plus years at this point, it feels like, in a corporate 9 to 5 job. And I have never not had that. So I'm just so excited to be able to have a more mental health space up here. Thus will give me a little more creativity because I won't be running around like a psycho all the time. I probably still will a little, but whatever. And B, more time to dedicate to this incredible show that's only just getting started. So I'm very excited.
I'm pumped for you.
And like you and I are going to take art classes in the city.
I'm excited. We're going to take dance classes, art classes.
We are doing private dance lessons.
Yeah.
And I just, it's the perfect time of my life. We can be city girls. And like, for those of you listening, it's like, how is Nicole going to make money? Trust me, Nicole still needs money. Yeah, I'm going to be a content creator for now. And for now, like that's ending. What am I saying? And kind of see where that leads me. This podcast is going to be a big part of that.
Yeah. It's going to be a huge part of it. I'm excited for you.
I'm excited. I'm scared shitless because, again, I'm used to that, like, routine. I'm still going to need to, like, be establishing routine and stuff like that. So you guys will hear more from me on that. And I know you're a pro at that. You were saying, like, the Parisian lifestyle. Like, we don't have to work 18-hour days to feel productive.
Yes. I was saying, that. I just think that, like, it's such a privilege to be able to work for yourself. And it's one to not be, like, taken for granted. And I think part of that is
very true.
You get to decide, like, what kind of lifestyle that you, like, want to have. Also, you find joy in, like, the mundane things. Like, going to the grocery store and, like, going to the gym and, like, whatever, these, like, tasks, like, they become a part of your life and a part of your day instead of, like, something you're rushing to get through. Like, you get to, like, enjoy these little parts of life that previously felt, like, stressful and mundane.
Yeah.
And then also, like, it is different for your work hours because you can focus really intensely for 4 hours and, like, get just as much done as you were 8 hours in the office previously because your brain is, like, 100% there.
Bingo.
And then
4-hour work week.
And then you feed into yourself, like, in other ways, and you just, like, enjoy. I don't know. There's just life. Like it's a different life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know those of you listening are definitely in normal 9 to 5 jobs. Some of you might be stay-at-home moms, which is quite literally a
huge
tough job. And in all different types of work. Some of you might be self-employed baddies. And I just want to say I'm so grateful for all of you listening, because you support us on our social channels. You support this podcast. I'm just like, you're the reason I'm able to do this change, which I really think at this point, like, my mental health needs. I'm grateful to Betches Media, because again, that they raised me. I literally said to the founders, I said, you raised me. I spent my childhood here. It feels like I've grown up here. And I'm just grateful for this life I get to live. I think I like this.
Stop it. Don't you dare.
I think I like this little life. But love you guys. Thank you. And I'm glad I got to share that update with you first.
I'm excited too.
I haven't even told some of my friends, honestly.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll find out now.
Yeah.
We want to introduce you guys to our sponsor, Bride Bright.
Bride Bright has kept our smiles brighter and whiter than ever.
They have 3 versions of their teeth whitening kits. They have the Bride Bright Groom Glow and Brighten. Each kit features a wireless LED light mouthpiece and 3 brush-on whitening pens made with their sensitivity-free formula.
To be honest, I don't even use the Blue Bonus desensitizing gel pens that they give you with this thing, because I don't need to. Like, Bride Bright is the only thing that has not caused my teeth to be sensitive.
If you tuned into the episode with John, you know how much we love our intentional time together, and we love doing the touch-ups together. Sometimes we sit on the couch, we finish watching a show, we each do our touch-ups with our whitening. John's a big teeth guy, like Nikki, very similar. And so this is something that we try to bake into our self-care time together once a week or so.
Speaking of Valentine's Day gifts, maybe that'll be my gift to Mike, is like the Brighten kit. He really loves it so much. The toothbrush, it comes with the whitening. That, if you're gonna do an entry level, personally, I would do the Brighten kit for like your husband, for yourself, because it really just comes with everything in that bundle.
You can get your smiles on to shine at www.bridebright.co, BRIDEBRITE.co. And we have a 40% off code. So if you use Honey, HONEY, you will get 40% off.
And of course, stay up to date with all things Bride Bright on Instagram at Bride Bright and TikTok at Bride_Bright. They'll keep you snatched and shining.
You can grab all of the Bride Bright goodies at Anthropologie, Saks, Bloomingdale's, and Zola.
Okay, so let's get into the crux of the issue of today, which is, so we were like, what the fuck do we make this episode mainly about? We posted a prompt on Instagram. So many of you were like, make it about friendships.
Friends in different stages of life.
And we were like, we already talked about friendships. But then we both re-listened and we were like, okay, we definitely dabbled in friendships in that episode, which definitely go back and listen.
Can't stop spilling.
No, Caroline spilled her matcha on her nice sweater 7 times since we started recording.
It's okay, I can get it out.
But we're going to do this episode more about just like making friendships in your late 20s, early 30s, and how that can look so different, and how everyone is really in different stages of life, and you and all your friends are, and how that shifts the dynamic.
Yeah. Okay, so we did get a few emails that were, for me, this is extremely relatable to what I feel like I'm also going through right now. And so even though I don't necessarily like have the answers, I don't know, reading how overwhelming this response was and then reading the emails in depth, I was like, wow, nail on the head for how I've been feeling. But the first person that sent us an email said, "Hi, Nicole and Caroline. How do you find couple friends? I find it difficult to find another couple where my husband and I both like other people, or both like both of the people in the relationship. Part 2 to this question is maintaining friendships with friends who are single. I feel weird inviting a single friend to go have dinner with me and my husband. I prefer to just get dinner with her alone or get together a big group so it's not 2 versus 1. But people's schedules are busy for group hangs. Love the pod so far." Okay, so kind of what we're getting into here is navigating friendships late 20s, early 30s regarding couple friends. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, so her first point, she kind of has 2 questions. The how do you find other couple friends? And then she says, I find it difficult to find another couple where my husband and I both like the other people. At first, I was like, listen, you gotta kind of like lower the expectations with that almost, because you're not always going to love the other couple. Like, we have plenty of couple friends where either me and the girl get along a little more or Mike and the guy get along a little more. Like, you're not always going to, the four of you, be a perfect foursome and want to move in together and start a life as four people together. Like, but that said, majority of our couple friends, you and John being one of those, we just love, like, I'm very fortunate. I feel like we've found amazing couple friends.
Yeah.
How do we do that? Honestly, a lot are through, like, college. I wrote down, like, give people a chance. So, like, I was thinking about
I think that's actually a really good point, and it's more on the men's side. I don't think that they like to give, men do not like to give guys a chance when they've met through, like, their spouses. Right. It's just really, like,
go out of your way a little step further to get to know that guy, and you might, like, ask him to
guys
golf.
think that if they were, like, meant to be friends with someone, they would have, like, met them on their own. Yeah. And that's just not true. Like, it's just such a weird, it's always been that way, even when you're dating. Like, no, it's totally weird.
Well, and, like, we all, after college, you all moved to different cities and stuff. I think, like, with the give people a chance note, try hanging out with people that you went to school with that you might not have thought you were going to be good friends with, but, like, we have people who went to JMU, now live up in this area, that, like, we've actually become so close with.
Oh, like,
that
after the fact,
college.
Yeah.
Because, like, you just find your group that's in the city that you live in.
Yeah.
That, and also just, like, meet new people. Work is huge. Like, for those, I know I'm like, I'm quitting, but for those of you who are in corporate, whatever jobs, like, find your work bestie and grab their significant other. Like, I'm such a big believer in that work friends become your true friends.
Yeah.
And that's huge too. And I think just, like, also in a lot of cases, I know in our case, one of the people in the relationship is more outgoing, is the friend maker. That's me, if you couldn't tell, in ours. And Mike still is very, obviously, but, like, for the more outgoing person in the couple, encourage the less outgoing person to be like, who are your good friends at work? Okay, let's grab Jake and do a dinner with us and Jake's girlfriend. Like, I would love to meet her. Just, like, encourage that. And you might have to give that little extra nudge, but it'll be worth it because you could become wonderful friends with that couple. So, yeah, work. Join a workout community. Like, if you're, like, literally, we've met so many cool people through doing Rumble. Like, that's a really great, I don't know, you can just, like, meet people through that. What are your thoughts?
I think that, it takes time. So, like, that point of time where you don't have couple friends or you both really like, it is really, really difficult. And you can't force it. Sometimes that's just your situation. Like, sometimes maybe you're planning on moving soon, and so, like, you will have a fresh start somewhere else. But, like, when you were in that place where you haven't had a lot of luck finding couple friends that you both really like, it's super difficult. But instead of forcing it, I feel like my advice, at least in my experience, is, like, find a way to balance it so that neither person feels, like, unfulfilled in their friendship. So, like, just always be intentional and conscious about whose friends you're spending time with. So, like, if we're hanging out with my friends that are in couples, like, we might do that a few times, and so I need to make sure that then we're hanging out with John's friends that are in couples as a balance. I might not say in this theory, like, I don't click with some of the spouses of, like, John's friends as much as I click with my friends. Obviously. So, like, I'm just literally sitting there thinking, like, oh, I would rather be with my friends. It's okay. I'm not, like, building resentment because last week we hung out with my friend and their spouse.
Yeah.
And so vice versa, there, like, John would technically be sitting there like, oh, I'm willing to give this more of a chance, or I'm willing to, like, be in the moment and be present and be positive because I already know we have something on the books to hang out with my friend and their spouse.
Yeah.
Next weekend. And that way you're both getting your, like, friend fill time, but also you're able to bring your significant other. And then you're, like, in the meantime, you're, like, practicing patience and, like, whatever, being open to meet new couple friends. And, like, they will come eventually. They really will. It's just maybe not when you want them to.
And what are your thoughts? First of all, yes, I love all that. I love the reciprocalness.
Reciprocation?
Reciprocation.
Is that a word? Yeah.
Reciprocation. Because also, like, you won't fall into that weird pattern of like just hanging out with one person's couple friends, and that way like the other person starts to feel like isolated, like they're leaning too much on. So I love the reciprocation. That's so key, and we need to practice that more. But what was I going to say? Oh, what are your thoughts on like meeting couple friends as a way to find more couple friends, meeting them through your other friends? So for example,
I like that.
Allie, like if you and John and Allie and Sean
but you don't like that.
No, you guys
you're like, I will off you
without us once. Remember?
No, we planned the dinner with you and you couldn't go. And you said, if you guys still go without me, I'm gonna off you.
I was having FOMO at the first inkling of that dinner.
No, obviously.
And I said, it
couldn't
out of
happen.
Here. But a normal person would actually support that. And low-key, deep down, I do support it. I think if you, Allie, Sean, and John.
Do you know what would actually suck is if you did that? The thing that sucks about that is if Allie, like say I meet a friend through you, couple friend, we plan something without inviting you. That's the worst. You do actually want your friends to become friends so that when you go to like plan a big group dinner or you want to do something fun on a Saturday, Sunday, and it's you and your significant other, so you don't have to split up into like boys and girls. Yeah. It is so much easier when everybody likes each other and already wants to hang out.
For sure.
So like, yeah, everyone's hype about all you guys getting together. So yeah, you want them to want to be friends. What you don't want is them to like start a group text without you in it. To like make a plan that you were never informed of. It's one thing if you were informed but you can't go. It's another if you were never included.
Yeah.
Like that's dirty. That's dirty friendship
but
tactic.
I think some normal non-toxic people, I think some people would be okay with it.
Well, I'm not friends with those people.
Yeah, it's like invite me. I introduced you.
No, I'm way too sensitive.
But that's the thing. I agree with you.
I would be like super. I would be like, I did something wrong. Right, like
where.
And I'm not scared to ask you. I will text you and be like, are you mad at me?
Yeah. Or if I were to if Mike and I were to move away and you guys would hang out all the time, that I would love. You know.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'd so have FOMO.
That's fine. Yeah. But normally, I also like the idea with work friends. My thing with work friends, though, that I've seen that I love is if you think that someone you already get along with the people on your team. You might have like a work best friend, right? Mm-hmm. But if you think that there's someone on your team whose partner would get along with your partner, ask them to do a double date so that they can meet. Because you hear people talk about their partners in the office.
Smart.
Do you know what the ideal thing is too? Is like when you have a friend, wouldn't you kind of love if like Mike loved their husband like almost more?
Yes.
Because then they would be asking to do double dates.
Yes.
With your friend.
Yeah.
That would really like fill you up, get you going, because they would start to really open their mind to be like, I love Nikki's couple friends. So if you have a coworker and when they talk about their partner, like you're like, dang, I feel like they would get along with Mike. Even if that's not the person that you're going to lunch with every day. I love how we're
using Mike figuratively for all the.
Yeah. Or like when John like has someone that like John would be like, oh, I think that you would really like their girlfriend or their wife or like whatever it is. Good. That might not be the person that John goes to lunch to every day, but that is 100% like John's like, I think we should try to do a double date with them.
Yeah.
And because you guys might hit it off. Mm-hmm. And I love that because you don't need to like, it doesn't need to be your work bestie, but that's like also finding a friend for your spouse.
Yeah. I love that. Just give people more of a chance. And as this is a big point for making couple friends, for making friends in your 30s at the age that we are. I think it is so cool these days. I've been meeting like people at these events that we go to and stuff. I think it's so cool when they just literally are like, what's your cell? And they text you right away and they're like, let's get drinks. Are you free next Wednesday?
Oh, I love that.
Time? Like, no beating around the bush anymore. No, like, I think I'm free over I'm a big beater around the bush and I'm a very big, like, it's tough to make plans with me because I'm just like, let me check if I'm free. I love somebody who's just like, no, we're doing Thursday at 8 or you're there or you're not. Like,
yeah, I like that. Be direct.
Yeah, just be direct. And like, don't overthink sliding into somebody's, like, asking for a cell phone number and sliding into their texts. Like, just do it.
Just do it.
You know?
You can't be scared when it comes to that stuff. Like, you really cannot be like, I already have my friend group and I'm good.
No.
Because people move and change a phase
of
life.
That can
and, like,
happen
no.
is they don't. Like, this, the worst that can happen is it doesn't happen for a while, or they don't at all and then move on. Then you don't need them as a friend. But I think it's just really cool when people are just like, hey, can I get your cell? Like, I don't know. And I feel like we meet people through, like, the internet a lot, which sounds really weird, but
I think that has helped because I'm not scared to meet somebody through the internet.
But, like, non-content creators can do that too.
100%. I mean, if you have a friend whose friend moved to your city, 100% get coffee with them. Because meeting people as a couple,
the matcha.
I think meeting people as a couple plays a big part in it versus someone that you knew already before you were a couple.
Yeah.
Or like someone that was already your friend. Like when you get when two people get introduced to each other, like as two people that already know each other.
Yes.
Like there is a different criteria for if you're going to hit it off or not.
Yes.
There has to be like a group dynamic, group energy.
I also, if you're ever on vacation as a couple, go out of your way to meet other couples. And know they might not be from where you're from, but you just made me think of this.
You have like a friend in them.
Mike and I's favorite thing to do.
We sound like
swingers.
Wait, you love vacation friends?
I
do not.
What?
I don't want to talk to people when I go on vacation.
Oh, we find vacation friends, and
that
obviously
so
we're
funny.
not like we spend time just the two of us too. Obviously, I'm not.
Well, yeah,
but like. We love vacation friends.
But it is a good place to meet them.
We have friends in Peru. We have friends in Colombia.
No, that is great.
But like also New York. Like on our honeymoon in South Africa, we met a couple friends that live in New York. We keep meaning to hang out. It's one of those. But like we still follow each other on Instagram. They just had a baby. It's like
that's cute.
Yeah, and we actually should hang out with them. They like live in the Hamptons full time.
Okay, so you wrote for friendships with single friends. You wrote to check up on them. And don't forget to celebrate them.
Oh,
so the second part to this girl's so the second part to this girl's email, which is such a huge thing for us, is maintaining relationships with single friends. So what do you mean by check up on them?
I just was watching TikToks as a form of research for this episode, and it was from the perspective of the single girlies who are the last single one in the friend group, and I honestly feel so bad for them. They're like, we need to be checked up on too. Like, you guys are having babies, you're going through weddings, you're getting engaged, you're doing all these big changes, you're moving into houses, and we're checking up on you as good friends. Like, even though there's not big things happening for us because we're single, we're not having those big life changes, still check up on us and just like celebrate, find ways to reciprocate and celebrate us. Like, one girl was like, it's my birthday and all my friends are in relationships and none of them are like going out of their way. Like, I'm just asking for one day out of the whole year. It actually made me really sad and want to cry. So like, honestly, listen right now, like, text your single friends, go out of their way. And I wrote down, this was from another podcast, shout out to Kelly Grace May, because her and her sister were talking about like, don't underestimate the power of a girl sleepover.
Cute. I love girl sleepovers.
Like, even if you're married, just like, it sounds weird, but like, just be like, hey, can I sleep over at Allie's, or can Allie come here and we'll just sleep out on the couch? I don't know. Like,
I think that's cute.
Sleepover.
But I think my biggest thing is like, it's actually okay to do the 2-on-1. And I think that you need to get over the awkwardness. Mm-hmm. Like, I know that's like a little bit of tough love, but like, if you're like, I would rather just hang out with my friend 1-on-1, even if you're a single friend, if they just want to hang out with you and not your significant other, I do genuinely think, like, in terms of them being a life friend, like, you guys both have to get over that awkwardness.
I agree.
Do it. Get comfortable with it, because you need to be like, that's where you're at in life, and this is where they're at in life. And like, sometimes you need to meet them where they're at, and sometimes they need to meet you where you're at. But like, you need to be integrated in each other's lives where it's at, versus like keeping this one frozen in time portion of yourself only reserved for your single friend, and this is the only way you guys know how to hang out.
Right.
Like, that's not maintainable. And
I agree. And like, if this is your person, your significant other is like your best friend, your person, hopefully, they should be comfortable doing that, and it shouldn't feel like a third wheel situation.
No, it shouldn't.
Should feel like three friends
if
hanging
it
out,
does,
just two of them are in love.
If it does, seriously, like, you need to have a conversation with whoever it is that is applicable. But like, it really shouldn't be like, this is not the first time that we're going to deal with this, and it's not the last. Your single friend eventually will be in a relationship. So they already need to have a relationship with you and your spouse.
Yeah.
Because once they should never feel like they're only allowed to hang out with you and your spouse if they also have a boyfriend or girlfriend. That's lame. Like, you three already need to have this relationship, and then one day when they're dating somebody, they bring it into the life that you three like have together.
Yeah.
And then there are things that you just do, the two of you, and you have girl sleepovers, and there are things that you're welcome to do, the three of you, as three friends. Like, it's not two people kissing all over each other and one person in the corner. Like, it should be three friends. And if you three can't have that dynamic together or those conversations, it's like, I don't know, like, that's something that needs to be tackled through or addressed. Like, that will always be our case from now on. Like, we will have friends that are divorced, but they were previously a couple friend. Are they gonna, they're not allowed to hang out with you guys anymore?
Yeah.
So I think that you have to get over the 2-on-1 thing. Like, you're not doing your single friend a disservice. They want to be in your life. Bring them into your reality.
Yeah, just be, and there might be cases where your significant other, like if, like with my single friend, like when Trisha comes up, for example, just to use a relevant example from my life, one of my best friends from home is single. When she like came up to visit, like, well, she didn't stay with us, but Mike was like, no, you go ahead, take her out in the city, like, let her be. But if I were to like be like, no, I really want you there, he would have easily came to that and hung out, and it would have been fine. Like I think, yeah, the single friend from their perspective does have to be okay, like sharing and telling and being around your significant other. And your significant other has to be okay
doing
with that too.
And then you as the married person also has to be okay if the situation doesn't call for your significant other to be around.
Yeah.
Like, it is give and take in both directions. Like, if they're having a birthday party and they're single and it's all girls, do not be like, can I bring John? Like,
yeah,
that's not like, you know, that's not appropriate. Like, you don't be the person that can only go somewhere with their husband.
Yeah, no.
But like, also don't be the person that's like, I'm hanging out with my single friend, so like, you know, you're not invited. Like, there just needs to be group flexibility. Like, do what's needed when it's needed. You guys hang out if it works. You don't if you don't. Like, life is only gonna get more busy, more stressful, more confusing with kids, marriages, divorces, relationships, singleness. Like, I don't think having that one box.
Right. I think as the single friend too, like, let your couple friends know when you want it to just be you two. Like, if you're like, listen, I've got a lot of dating struggles and boy shit to talk to you about, and I really just kind of want just you, your attention. Like, is there a day that works for you that it can be just the two of us? Or like, if you're like, no, I just want to see you, then it's like, be okay with the 2-on-1.
Yes. I think I have this one, my friend Emily and I like went through a lot, like getting to this place with each other. And now it's like so beautiful that we're there, because like, I want her to know my relationship, and I want her to know John, and I want John to love her as much as I love her, and vice versa. And I love that he sees like how great of a person she is and how much fun we have. I also never want to lose what we have together as friends.
Yeah.
So like, I also, maybe as a married one, I have to be super intentional about being like, we're going to go to lunch together and it's going to be the three of us. But then also, I'm going to come spend the night with you this night, and then we're going to do a workout class in the morning. We're going to have like a girls' night. But it's like, that's your life. Like, it's you are responsible for balancing it. But I do think just isolating somebody is not the way to maintain that friendship.
Right. Yeah. I think there's that friend a lot of the time who I could see it being like more the person in the couple.
Yeah.
Who, you know, when you're hanging out, let's say one-on-one, you and a girlfriend, the person in the couple like has a lot to talk about because they're like, you know, the kids, the husband, the whatever. Make sure it's not just you like going on about yourself and your life. And for your single friend, I think like just make sure to just, again, like ask about them. You should do this in any conversation with anybody. Don't babble on about yourself, which the biggest narcissist in the room is telling you that, then that's really saying something.
I'm terrible at that.
But like, just in any twosome, don't be that one going on about yourself. But just, you know, especially, it's like, I think a lot of single girlies out there, a trend I see is that they almost become like the therapist friend, where like they're giving advice.
Yeah.
And then it's like the ones in relationships are just like venting about their relationships and venting about their life and whatnot. And that can be really emotionally taxing on that therapist friend.
So basically you need to find new activities and hobbies that you have in common right now, and like do those things. Like maybe it shouldn't always be drinks and venting about your life, because you do. Yeah, I guess that's true. Like one person does end up having more like to go to that other friend with, and like that's great. That's what friends are for. But like when you're gonna have that time, like
do a workout class together.
Yeah,
that's a good
idea.
Book
something together. Like
do activities where your relationship status doesn't matter.
Because I also wrote that down, and I was like, be conscious not to always ask your friend about their dating life. Like, just because they're single doesn't mean that their priority is finding someone to date.
Yeah.
Like, let's stop treating it like that.
Once I was talking to this woman, I don't know why I was about to say girl, who I really look up to career-wise. She's like become almost like a mentor to me. And I like was on the phone with her. I was like drunk this night or something, because I remember as it was coming out of my mouth, I was like, shut up, Nicole. But she's like in her early 30s, and the first thing I was like, so how have you been? How like any men lately? And she was just cool about it and nice back. But I was like, no, what if she doesn't care about that?
Yeah, we just are. I think that's all that we can think about.
Yeah, I was like, well, we got to find just somebody. And I was like, ew, no, we don't. She's great on her own.
It just like seems like something, I don't know, the way I've been thinking about this lately too is like, it's very uncomfortable. And like someone wrote in about like a friend that's getting divorced, and like, this is such an uncomfortable, unnatural reality. It's like really sad and hard to grapple with when your friend is in that phase of life. But unfortunately, I think that that's what we're looking at for the next portion of our lives as adulthoods with friends. So I do feel like it's this really awkward phase of life where it's like, I don't know what to do, but I know I have to figure it out, because this is not going to be the end of the road with trying to navigate friends in different phases of life. It's not like we're all just going to end up married with kids and then all on the same page and live happily ever after. Like, life will continue to be odd and dynamic. So we better figure it out now. So like, not always asking about a relationship, or like finding different activities, or like being weird and doing a girl sleepover, and like also making sure that your friend is hanging out with your significant other. They need a relationship with that person. Like, all of that isn't important.
You'll be happier if your friends and your significant other know each other and have a relationship. It'll just ease everything. All right. Well, let's move into Love or War Friendship Edition.
Okay, I'm excited. You want to go first?
Sure.
Okay.
Your husband picks the one friend that you cannot stand to be his best man. So I guess he's your fiance at this point.
I'm reevaluating the relationship at that point. Why is somebody, first of all, we're not irrational people. I don't just like not stand somebody because it's fun. Like, they did something.
Yeah.
So why are you so best friends with them?
Well, and the thing about friends is your friends are so important. The people that you surround yourself with are a reflection of you.
Yeah.
And so if you or your significant other has toxic, immature, bad influences, just a couple bad eggs in that group, you kind of want to start weeding them out. And I think the wedding is a good time to do that.
Yeah.
And best man and maid of honor is such an important role and an important title. So I would just grab him by the shoulders and I'd shake him and I would say, why? Why him? Like, and I think this actually happens a lot more than we think, because I think a lot of men are very good about like loving their best friend from second grade, or their old college buddy from freshman year dorm room, or their, men I think value, like us women are better at like making more modern friends throughout life. but men
stick to their OG friends.
Their OG, which is a good thing.
That's fine. It's just that when you choose your best man or your maid of honor, it's supposed to be someone that supports your relationship. Like, I think people get very confused on this. Like, yes, it's your best friend, whatever, but like, it should be somebody that really supports your relationship. That like, you guys getting married means a lot to them. That they've supported your relationship as a friend. So if you have a friend that is your best friend since first grade, but like has always been an issue in your relationship, they're not your best man. I'm sorry. They could still a groomsman 100%, but like, you definitely have another friend that has been, it's not just pivotal to your relationship. It's just that like has always brought you guys closer together. Like they're there for the right reasons.
Right. And they've built a relationship, an appropriate relationship with you as the significant other, and they've supported the two of you together. That's such a big point. I don't think about that enough.
Also, I just remembered what I was going to say, so I'm just going to spit it out really quickly. But what I was going to say that we have to remember is that we have to be okay with friends that are in different stages of life drifting from us for a moment, because sometimes they need that. Like, I think that's a really tough thing that we've gone through, myself and some of my friends recently, which is like, if someone is in a different stage of life than you, and they've drifted from you and you feel like it's because of that, maybe they need to drift, and maybe they will come back to you, and it doesn't mean the friendship is over, and you have a long life ahead of you, hopefully, and maybe they just need to go through some things on their own, and sometimes maybe you're that person and you need to go through some stuff and you drift, but just always make the intention to like come back to your friends or like do the right thing, but like let them let them
drift away.
Like, don't hold them to an expectation because it's self-serving to you.
Yeah.
Like, try to be empathetic about where they're at, what they need. Let them do that. And then just, like, hope that they come back. And, like, that's okay, too.
I want to know, like, from you listeners, like, how often do you actually talk to your best girlfriends or who you consider? Because
I'm not that often.
As you're even saying drift, I'm like, we do drift all the time. That's the thing. I guess as you get into, like, as you age, like, I'm not, like, talking to my best friends literally all day, every day. Like, we have a group text.
I talk to my friends, like, it could be, like, literally once a month. Sometimes it could be once every 2 months. Like, friends that have been in my life the longest, like, we do not have rules on how often we have to speak to each other, because I just think that that's very it's self-serving to one side of that friendship. Like, you have to give people the grace.
I also think, though, if you want to talk to somebody more, tell them. Like, I've had a friend go, like, you never answer. You, like, can you just answer me? Like, can we talk on the phone every once in a while? And I was like, oh my God, that really, like, woke me up. I was like, of course, yes. I didn't know you wanted to more. Like, I guess I should have, because they were reaching out to me, but I was like, yes, I want to. Like, thank you for keeping me in check.
Being open and honest about that, I agree, is important.
Like, and I've said it to
communicate your
Ruby
needs.
in Israel. Well, she lives in Israel, so she's like asleep right now. But I've said that to her. I'm like, bitch, we need to talk on the phone more. She's not a phone person, but I'm like, I'm gonna call you till you answer.
There you go. So, okay, your significant other or husband has a mandatory guys' night every Saturday.
No,
I mean, that's not gonna work for me.
I think guys' night is very important. I think you should go away with the notion of, like, he can't hang out with his guy friends. I like shove Mike out with his guy friends, but
I love it when John goes to dinner with his friends.
I think it's very important, but not a mandatory standing date.
No. Also, as we were just talking about, it's like when life is busy during the week, like normalizing making that time on the weekend for like co-ed activities or like with your partner, like that's like important, because I can feel a huge difference in my relationship when we're spending more time together during the week.
Well, in the weekdays,
or at the weekend, like, because we can't during the week or whatever.
Everyone thinks you don't need time with your significant other, like because like on the weekends, because you are like living together. But the weekdays, like, don't count sometimes. They're just so busy.
Business in the front, party in the back. It's all business during the weekend. Like, this is the mullet of life. Literally, like, the stuff that you like reconnect with your partner on, the ways you have fun and keep your relationship alive, are cutting out time to do fun quality things times that are not about your day-to-day routine Monday through Friday. Yeah. Like, that's when we all get into ruts, is when it just becomes about that.
I'm a big proponent of fun on weekdays too. Like, so you can do a fun little date night on the weekday, but I think like a long, nice Saturday with your significant can I talk? Your partner is just like unmatched.
Okay, next one. Your significant other calls, FaceTimes his friends every day after work. I don't hate this. I get annoyed sometimes, but I say it. You think it's war?
Does John FaceTime people?
All the time.
Mike like doesn't FaceTime his friends.
John does.
What friends?
All of them, like all the time. He FaceTimes people when he's washing the dishes. Any chore that he's doing, I'm like, sayonara, because he's FaceTiming somebody. He calls his mom on the way to work every day. He calls somebody on the way home every day. Like he's just always on FaceTime on Saturday mornings. Usually I'm like, I don't care, because like I could sit on the phone with my mom for 5 hours and like whatever. Sometimes, like last Saturday, I was like, my guy.
Get off. Throwing your phone out the window.
Like, do you just want to be here alone all day? And like I can't do that. Don't interrupt what we're doing.
Yeah.
To FaceTime a friend.
Yes, I think that's the notion. Like, don't step away from me.
Yeah.
To start FaceTiming, unless it's like big or something. But or a together FaceTime.
Always look at me. If someone is FaceTiming you while we're doing something, like look at me.
Yeah.
And I will literally be like, it's fine. Or like,
you get the approval. I go like this. Yeah. I do the cut. I notion cut.
Because sometimes you are literally on the verge of having a breakdown. Like, we have spent no time together. Are you actually
now you're
going to answer this call right now?
Yeah.
Are you literally going to answer this call right now? Like, no.
Yeah.
So, but then also sometimes it's somebody that you know you have to answer the call. So I like when he looks at me and I'm either like, it's fine, or I'm like, absolutely not.
I like a together FaceTime though. I've like, my brother and sister-in-law are very good about like, anytime we're FaceTiming with them, I've just noticed like one of them will walk over to the other and like do it together, and that kind of includes each other. Like,
that's cute.
I need to do that more.
The joint FaceTime is nice too. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, the next one is your girlfriend asks you to dinner and proceeds to talk about her significant other literally nonstop.
Oh, this is like for two friends.
Yeah.
This is annoying. It's always the ones in a new relationship, and I'm so good at picking up. And don't get me wrong, we have a
Don't you think you just have to give it to them though?
Yeah.
Like,
but like, I've had friends who literally, I'm like, do you hear yourself? You're reverting everything. I could be like, this matcha is really good. This colored matcha is a really pretty green, and they'd be like, you know what else is a really pretty green? Billy's eyes. And I'm like, shut the fuck up.
Okay, that's
I don't want to hear about Billy.
I feel like I do it sometimes, but then I have to like word vomit after, because I'm like, oh god,
no,
Caroline,
we definitely
don't you have anything else to talk about?
And we have a podcast.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, and I don't as much as people, because I've been in the same relationship forever. But yeah, I mean, this is just, anybody who talks about themselves nonstop is annoying, and that's a lot for me to say, because I do that.
Yeah, that's good. Love that.
I'm aware when I do. I acknowledge it.
No, I know when I do it too.
Like,
I'm like, sorry, I
I've
keep
been
droning on about myself.
Yeah.
Or I stop mid-sentence and just ask you a question, because it's like clicking that I'm like, oh my god, you're so self-centered. And so I just stop and I'm like, so what are you up to?
Yeah.
It's
One
like
time,
really
I'll
aggressive.
never forget, we were like on the way home from my bachelorette or something, and you know, Allie, we talk about Allie constantly too. Hi, Allie. She like checked me in this, because she was asking our other friend Kiki, my friend, but they became friends. My friend, like a psycho. She was asking Kiki about like her family life and stuff, and like her siblings, and I was like, how come I've never like heard this about you that as much?
Oh,
like, and
what a moment.
They were like,
because you never asked.
Yeah, like Allie was like, because you've probably never asked her. And I was like, oh. And then I rethought my entire reality. And ever since that moment, I truly have been so good about asking other people about themselves.
Wow.
And I'm proud to say I've gotten so good.
Good job.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then this podcast, I just come
and
talk about it.
Yeah, I just talk about myself all the time. Okay. Let's do rec of the week really quickly, because it's related to this episode. Favorite activity to do with a friend and where to do it. Mine is work from home with a friend. Love that. If you have work from home friends, work from home with your friend. Like, choose somewhere to go. In the city, I love going to Hotel Chelsea. Like, I think it's cute. It's girly. They have a great martini bar. They have a great happy hour. They have a great restaurant next to it. So it's like, and they have great coffee. Yeah. I mean, I go all the time. There are a lot of places I go and I keep on rotation, but finding somewhere and doing like a date with your friend every 2 weeks if you live in the same city, a work from home day is great. It's just quality time together.
You know what we have to do?
What?
We're going to curate a list of the best work from places in New York City.
I already have that list.
Okay, well.
And I'll take you on it, and then you can tell me which one you like the best.
Thank you.
Okay.
And because let me be a part of that. I love Hotel Bowery. You see celebs there too.
Yeah.
Okay, what?
I just don't like their seats.
Oh, God. It is dark.
The seats are like low too.
Yeah. It's like you're laying back. You're laying horizontal.
Yeah, like I need to be like I need tables. Like I like one pen too, but they're kicking me out. They like apparently I can't work there, but there's like a public library I can work in. You have to like
be staying there.
No, it's not a hotel. It's like a co-working space for the people that work there, but somehow I just never get noticed.
Oh, okay.
There are workarounds. We'll talk about it later.
Wait, I did 11 Howard recently and felt very Anna Delvey. That's where she would stay.
Oh, good for you, Anna.
Yeah, I felt like her.
Okay, what's your rec of the week?
I
love this.
We'll curate a list though, and we'll post it on Honey We're Home podcast or Honey We're Home Pod at Insta.
And Insta.
Okay.
Wait, yours is high tea.
Well, so here's the thing. I didn't know it was like something we do frequently. I did this once, so just note that. But then I was like, okay, so high tea. I did it at Nubaloo's. I'm probably saying that wrong. French. At the top of the Ritz-Carlton for my friend Delani's birthday. It was a bunch of girls and then like her boyfriend and her boyfriend's friend, but mainly girls. And it was really cool. It was not cheap. Let me just tell you right now.
But it was cute.
Wallets. But it was really cute, really cool experience. And then I got me thinking, if you don't live in New York City, if you do, go highly suggest a little cute, you get dressed up, take some cute pics, go there. The tea was wonderful, the drinks, the food. But if you don't live in New York City and you want to do this, there is still tea places. Like we were in Annapolis randomly, and there was like a cool like high 100%. Tea situation. Like just do a tea day with your girlies. Anywhere.
I love that.
Cool tea place.
Okay, my ick of the week is the way men eat when they're ravenous. I think it's disgusting. I don't think there's any explanation needed. Their tongues are basically at the bowl. Like they can't pick up their heads. It's gross. It's sloppy.
Ew.
It's terrible.
Well, I eat like that.
No, trust me, you don't. Like they're like head in the bowl, but eyes are up at you, and they're just like slurping it down. No, you don't.
I eat like a horse.
You do not eat like a man after he's like left, as if he's just like left a 12-hour football practice. You don't. Like it's actually terrible. You're sitting across from him like, I'm sorry that I like. How did I ever like think that you had Riz?
They eat so fast.
It's just too much. And then my turn on in the week is that John has started putting on my coat everywhere.
On for you?
Yeah, he puts on my coat. He puts on my coat when we leave the house. He puts on my coat when we get to a restaurant. He puts on my coat when we leave. Like he does not let me put my own coat on anymore.
That is, I'm rethinking everything because Mike doesn't do that for me.
It's so hot. Here's the thing.
He has before.
No, here's the thing. I think that he started doing it because I struggle to put my own coat on. So to me, I'm like, this is so hot. To him, it might be a logistical thing.
He's like, she can't do it on her own.
So I actually have a hard time putting my coat on. And because he has done this for me so often now, I kind of forgot even more so. So we were at the airport recently and I like came out of the bathroom and I looked like I was like about to cry. And it was John and his brother. And I had been trying to get my other arm in my coat for like 5 minutes. And I like couldn't. And I came out and my coat was on half my body. And I was like looking like I was about to cry. And John just shook his head and said, "Oh, David, can you help her get her other arm in her coat?"
I love that though. And I think it's such a boss move of a man to do that, like in the middle of a restaurant when you get up. Because it's like in front of other people. I don't know. It just is showing like I'm helping my woman get her coat on.
Yeah, he puts my coat on. I think it's so nice. And then I'm liable to like knock somebody over, like knock somebody's cup over in a restaurant.
Yeah,
so like,
I fling that thing.
It could be logistical, but I'm here for it.
And
I don't care.
And it forces them, because I've said this before a couple times, like Mike will like stand up and sprint out of the restaurant. And I'm like, hello, I could be pillaged back here.
You've said that before.
And like, and that pisses me off. I'm like, am I chopped liver? Are you running to get away from me? This happened like twice in our lives and I screamed. So I think the code is nice. I'm going to start enforcing that rule.
Okay, wait. You have to do your ick and your turn on.
Okay, I'll go quick because we're so out of time.
Yeah.
Okay, my ick is Carly, I stole this from my friend Carly. She said men holding an empty plate at a buffet. Just picture it. If you want to get over a guy who's an asshole.
Like just waiting in line at the buffet? Yes. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Standing over, hunched over a buffet like a freak with an empty plate. It's just like so gross when you think about it. And then my turn on is just like, he's been a very supportive king lately with all my big life changes, you know, quitting my literal job.
Yeah.
And just like everything. Like last night we did the NHL thing. I'm sure if you guys follow me on Instagram, you saw I was all over.
Yeah, he's really like joyous and over the moon supporting you. That's like really cute.
Yeah, he loves it. He came with me to the NHL thing, and like it was me and a bunch of like hot hockey players. Like what? And and Mike's just there.
Maybe that was
like,
why.
Filming. Yeah, he's like,
He's
I'll
so
go.
cute.
I'll go to that influencer
no, that's
event. No, but
he's excited for you.
He couldn't skate because his hand. So he wasn't cleared to skate.
A man that is so excited at your accomplishments is such a turn on because it's so opposite of like what we've been raised to like fight against, which is like guys being threatened by a woman's success.
Yeah.
So it's like really
Mike is
hot.
not only supportive of my accomplishments, but like involved. He's like, at this point, he's like, so what? He just like, you can tell he like really wants me to succeed. And it's not he wants himself to too. It's not like, so I can be the breadwinner and support us, because that would freak me out. But it's just, he really genuinely wants me to. And I think any guy that doesn't is insecure.
I agree. Okay, so we did an Are You Smarter Than Google, and it is how many friends do you think that a woman has in her lifetime? How many lifelong friends do you think a woman has in her lifetime? I have the answer right here, so
3.
You tell me what you think. You make 29 real friends in a lifetime, according to a search. Like, it was like a study done. Wait. You make 29 real friends. You lose half the friends you make. Half. That's a lot.
Oh, I was thinking, how many do you end
you end by, if you looked at the end of your life at like 90, you would have made 29 friends, real friends. You're not leaving your life with 29 friends.
Okay.
But you've made 29. That's not a lot.
That's not 29 close friends, but you're saying half of them fall off and stuff.
Yeah. Like you've made 29 real friends in your life, whether they're still in your life or not.
Yeah, it's not, out of all the people you meet, that's not a lot.
Like at the end of your life, like at your funeral, you will have 29 people that really cared.
Like boys and girls?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So like wait for your friends. Like it takes time.
Nurture those relationships
and nurture them. It's not a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we love you guys. Thank you for turning Okay, I'm going to try that again. Love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Rate, review, subscribe, and follow us at honeywe'rehomepod on Instagram, and email us at honeywe'rehomepodcast@gmail.com. We love you guys, and we will see you next week.